What's up, folks? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about Scale Network. Scale Network is about developing and building upon the Ethereum network through scalability. I'm going to talk about this in a second. I update the spreadsheet. We're on a little bit of a dip again on the old markets. I think we're going to be seeing Bitcoin testing the lows of 19K, if not 18K, if that's breached. Oh, God, didn't mean to do that. So, had you invested, these are the first 26 coins I spoke about on the channel. Had you invested $100 into each of these when I release videos about them and you're still holding that crypto, you'll profit for around 8.4K. This is a bear cycle. In the bull cycle, if you invested $100 and you cashed out at the top of each bit, 123,000 you'd have made. That's the difference between a bull cycle and a bear cycle. I found a lot of these cryptos, your Phantoms, your Theta, your Zilliqa, your VeChain, your Engine. They were all in bear cycles and they're all the biggest gainers. Bear cycles are the best time to make money. If you want to see the coins that I'm buying up in the bear cycle, come check out Copy My Cryptos, where I share everything I buy and everything I sell. Bought a couple cryptos a few weeks ago. I've got a couple open buy orders at the moment, which I'm hoping we'll see close soon enough. I'm going to be dollar cost averaging into the bear cycle throughout, because unequivocally, whether it's the Dow Jones Industrial Average, whether it's the NASDAQ, or whether it's crypto, the bear cycles are the best time to invest. That is just always true. But I DCAN because it's safer, because you can never know the lows of the market. If you want to see the coins I bought up recently, come check out Copy My Crypto. Links in the description. Right, Scale. Scale actually hit highs of like 90 cents. And it's hovering around 4.5 cents right now. So already, to get to previous highs is a 20x. I think it will do that. And I'll talk about why. So Scale's like an elastic network. So it brings scalability to Ethereum, and it boosts transaction capacity, which as a result reduces latency and ensures that payments can be made as cheaply as possible. Their whole concept is to build and run dApps in a decentralized modular cloud built for real-world needs and configured to your requirements. The emphasis on decentralization isn't at the expense of security. Security is something they're very focused on. And anyone that wants to build on this platform can run Solidity smart contracts thousands of times faster at a fraction of the mainnet cost. So with games and content streaming services among the projects that already take advantage of its infrastructure. And it makes sense, because those that have to deliver the most content, the most info per second, are going to want something that's fundamentally fast and cheap. The team are founded by Jack O'Halloran and Stan Kladko, who both have tons of experience in the software industry. O'Halloran is the co-founder and chief executive of Scale, and specializes in blockchain decentralized systems. Kladko has also spent many years obtaining a PhD in physics, and worked for 16 years as a tech exec in Silicon Valley. He also founded Galactic Exchange and Cloudessa. So they're fundamentally geared towards scalability, and that's their biggest sort of point that they make is, look, this is the first blockchain network fully optimized for Web3 user experience and security. And in particular, what they talk about is, look, NFT platforms, games, and Web3 applications, those that are going to have a huge amount of throughput, are ideal for Scale. Scale's, according to them, the Scale has unlimited capacity, and capacity grows as new nodes join the network. So unlike your sort of layer ones, new nodes can be utilized to create new chains, which increase throughput. So 100 chains can process at 12,000 transactions per second. 1,000 chains can process 120,000 transactions per second, thanks to Scale's architecture. And they also have on-chain file storage as well, so that anyone can store files locally on chain, which broadens the use cases for Web3. And when we're actually looking at what the network's at right now, so they've got a network-wide transactions per second of about 5,600. There's currently 28 Scale chains up and running. There's 156 validator nodes. And when you actually look at the Scale ecosystem, it's grown a lot in a year, because they only really got up and running just before 2021. So you're actually looking at 18 months. But in 18 months, we've got absolutely tons of companies and tons of cryptos that are using the Scale network. And I'll speak about consensus in a second, because Scale were the first to launch on consensus. So as you can see, enormous ecosystem. And key thing, zero or near zero gas fees throughout the use of Scale's network. So highly functional. Obviously, there's governance within Scale, but you can also stake it. And they've gone through Tokenomics as well on the site. And Tokenomics is about 50% of the overall tokens that are currently out. And by, where are we? Here we go, 7 billion. So we're at about this point here. Sorry, this point here. Just halfway through year one, we're about 3.5 billion. So the total amount of 7 billion, that's of Scale tokens, will be done by year 12. So there's going to be a slow distribution, which is good. It sort of peaks out across the, it slows down dramatically after year 6, but year 4 is really where we're looking. So we're about halfway. So we've got about another 2.5 years till they're up to about 6 billion. But even at 6 billion, going back to 90 cents, you're looking at 5.4 billion market cap now. That's not actually bad at all. That's actually very achievable. Given that Scale was the first project to launch a token on Consensus's Codify Activate platform. And that's designed to launch decentralized networks and allow customers to purchase, manage, and use their tokens all in one app. Activate was designed to create new standards for the distribution of utility tokens and ensure that networks are fully usable as tokens are sold. And they're hoping that this will clean up this sort of ICO sector that we've seen some problems with, and IDOs and everything else. But they've launched a token that's met regulatory standards. So Scale is intended to be a token that's widely adopted and avoids any fraudulent activities, because it's already met the potential regulatory standards that could come in. And as Ethereum merges, Scale's throughput will only increase. So this is a really interesting one, because obviously it launched just prior to that real boom that we had in April, March and April, where it really ran up. So I'm curious to see how the development goes, but right now, you've got to fundamentally, I would back the team here with a network that's grown as well as it has, with still, zero gas per transaction, with multiple chains already being developed, multiple chains up and running. And the more chains that are up and running, the better the throughput overall for the Scale network. So I'll be keeping an eye on how many more chains launch. But you're already seeing a really strong project here. So it'll be interesting to see what happens across the next 1.5, 2 years. But to re-achieve all-time highs feels very, very, very achievable for Scale. And yeah, I would not be surprised to see that run once again. And even then, just from this point, it's a 20x. But this will crush, the price will capitulate more. I'm saying conservatively 20x, but I could see this dropping down to very possibly 2 cents. And even then, if it dropped to 2 cents, 40 cents would certainly be achievable. That's still a 20x. But if it does hit previous all-time highs, that's a 45x. So there's a lot of possibilities here, because this bear cycle has got way greater depth to drop, especially as it coincides with a recession and a stock market crash, which, crypto will be the first to liquidate some positions. So there could be a lot more gains than just 20x. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. What do you think of Scale Network? Have you looked into it? What do you think about the multiple side chains, the current throughput that they've got for the Ethereum network, let me know in the comments down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so you know when new content is coming out. And guys, if you want to see the coins that I'm buying up in the bear cycle, the coins that I think can do those 20x's, 40x's, 50x's, 100x's, then just come check out Copy My Crypto. I bought a couple coins a few weeks ago. I'm buying more, hopefully this week, depending on if the buy orders are met, if the prices crash enough. And I'll be buying throughout this goddamn bear cycle because it's always the best time to invest. I've shown it with every market. It's just a fact. It's the hardest time to invest because a lot of people are fearful because it's like, well, what if it goes lower? That's why your dollar cost average in, because it can always go lower. I still think there's a possibility Bitcoin can drop down to 7K or thereabouts. So there's lots of room for this market to go down, if I'm right. I might be wrong, but we will see. But yeah, if you want to see the coins that I'm buying up, just click the link in the description and check it out. That's it from me, guys. Take it easy. Bye-bye.